Caption close Washington congressional Republicans secured enough support Friday to pass their massive tax plan, a measure that would deliver a major legislative victory to President Donald Trump and his GOP allies and make tax changes affecting nearly every American family and business. Passage appeared certain after two critical holdouts, Sens. Marco Rubio, R-FLA, and Bob Corker, R-10, said they would vote for the bill next week. Rubio was the key piece of a complicated and shifting political puzzle that the White House and GOP leaders spent months trying to solve, as all Democrats vowed to oppose the bill and a handful of Republicans made strident demands. The Florida Republican insisted on an expansion of the child tax credit in exchange for his vote, and GOP leaders relented, growing a benefit for working-class families. Corker's support was unexpected, as he had opposed an earlier version of the tax bill 2 weeks ago amid concerns about its additions to the deficit. But Friday he said he viewed the bill as a once-in-a-generation opportunity that, combined with changes to immigration and trade policy, would help the economy. The bill would push into law a $1.5 trillion tax package that was mostly written by Republicans behind closed doors and with little public debate. If passed, the measure would represent Trump's first major legislative victory. It includes an overhaul of the tax code and a targeted change to the Affordable Care Act, the Obama-era health care law Republicans have long sought to dismantle. Under the tax plan, Americans would lose the personal exemptions that often dictate how much money is withheld from their paychecks. They would instead pay taxes through a new regime that exempts a higher level of income from taxation and then subjects much of the rest to lower rates. Many more Americans would have access to the child tax credit, but they would also face a new cap on the federal deduction for state and local tax payments. On net, Republicans believe that the bill would lower most people's taxes. But many Americans, particularly those in high-tax states such as New York, New Jersey, and California, would see their taxes go up. The House and the Senate plan to vote on the bill next week, clearing the way for Trump to sign it into law. Many of its changes, lower rates and fewer deductions, would go into effect in January, though it would probably take some time for the economy to adjust. The tax plan has enormous benefits for many businesses, with a permanent and sharp reduction in tax rates that Republicans promise would trigger more economic growth, new hiring and higher wages. It also would change the tax system for households, temporarily lowering rates and creating new limits on deductions. This is expected to reduce taxes for most Americans but could still lead millions to owe the government more. The plan would also add at least $1 trillion to the debt over 10 years, according to numerous economic forecasts, an issue that is likely to intensify policy debate in Washington into 2018 as both parties square off over how to deal with the deficit. The bill was originally pitched as a sweeping tax cut for the middle class, but it changed over the course of several months as Republicans demanded a variety of alterations.